don't think you've ever told anyone that.
Yeah, wow.
In an interview.
Yeah,
we got some dirty laundry.
Yes,
It's not even that dirty, it's just sweet.
It is sweet.
It's so sweet.
Sofi Tukker, welcome to Airing Your Dirty Laundry. Thanks so much for coming in. You have just arrived in Australia. How are you? How are you finding it?
Great.
Yeah.
I'm having the best time ever.
So good. I'm a little nervous to bear our dirty laundry.
Yeah, I'm excited, to be honest. I start out by asking this question. What is your dirty laundry at the moment? Is there anything like a bit messy or a bit, I don't know, just something that's, what springs to mind when I say what is your dirty laundry at the moment?
Tucker? My laundry is so clean, but Tucker's
It's so dirty.
Tucker's is very dirty.
Yeah.
Take the floor.
Share as much as you're willing to as well. Don't feel the need to overlap.
Just trying to balance our crazy lives and schedules and like seeing a couple people and
Yeah, totally.
those kinds of things.
Totally. I saw as well you just did the house tour with Caleb Simpson. That's so cool. I've been following him for so long. And I was going to say, I love the spaghetti. I think I think the spaghetti is really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have to say, in person, it's kind of disgusting.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's like dust in it. That's really hard to see.
Yeah.
But it's such a good conversation starter.
I love it. I think
So
it's like very like Lady and the Tramp-esque. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, I don't know. I think you're not
I
a
can
fan.
do without.
Yeah. Where did you get it from? Where did it come from?
I got it from a vintage shop in New York.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of this stuff for the house.
Yeah.
It has really cool stuff.
Yeah, because that house has got so much interesting things in it. Like, did you take a little bit of time to kind of like collect all those pieces? And
Yeah, it took a couple years, but actually I ended up getting a lot of stuff from the same place. It's called Dream Fishing Tackle, bait, tackle, fish,
In New
something
York?
like that. Yeah, in New York.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And if you go digging, actually it's less good now, but anyway.
So fun.
We
It's
took
like,
all the good stuff.
We took all the good stuff.
what would you say is the best and worst part of living together?
Best part is definitely just like having the squad around all the time. Like we both have a lot of the same friends and our own friends, but we also love the friends who are more like mine or more Sophie's. So it's just so nice. At least for me, I love being surrounded by people all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a clubhouse. We just have like the homies around.
So fun.
Yeah.
So cool.
And that's kind of how we are. Like when we're touring, we have our like crew, and it's also like our, closest friends, and we're all just like
That's cool.
out and having a good time.
And that just came like to be, so you've had the same crew for quite a long time.
I mean, it's just like become, it's not even that it's the
They
same
weren't
crew.
their best
It's
friends
just,
beforehand. They just became.
yeah, like we make a lot of friends all the time, and sometimes they're like Sofi Tukker friends, and sometimes they're Tukker friends, and sometimes they're Sofi friends. But because we live together, it means that if the friend is over, then they're just like in our life.
Yeah, totally.
Even regardless of like who invited them over, which is really fun.
Totally.
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll like swap.
Yeah, sometimes they
Like-
swap.
Really?
Yeah, like
in
some
what way?
years
Like-
Sophie's closer to this one person, but then like maybe Sophie's off doing her own thing or like something else, and then I become really close to the person. I'm thinking of like Charlie, for example. We have a friend of ours who lives in London, but she's like been closer to both of us at different periods
cool.
over like 8 years, I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's very cool. It's really, really sweet that you can like create that sort of community within like your close people. That's really, really sweet. 10 years ago you started, I was like, because you started 2014, so this would be your 10-year anniversary, I suppose.
Wait, we didn't talk about what we don't like about living together. But
Oh, sorry, yeah. What was the worst part about living together? Yeah,
It's
the
true.
worst
This
part.
is dirty laundry.
Yeah,
We're just
totally.
giving
I
tea.
know. I don't know if we're doing a great job here.
Give the dirty.
I'm like, do I want to?
What do you hate about living?
Oh, that's not what I was thinking about.
I was like, damn, is it that bad?
Yeah. Shit.
No. I mean, honestly, it's probably as boring as just like not cleaning up after yourself. There's just like cups everywhere and like things everywhere that I just like am constantly cleaning up.
Do you agree?
Well, I do like delivery for everything because I don't cook or anything. So I don't get that much dirty. It's just like bottles and stuff around. Otherwise,
It's just, like, stuff.
she leaves like dishes in the sink and that builds up. I don't love that. but I don't because I don't use them.
Yeah, it's funny. It's always like the same like domestic stuff, isn't it? There's nothing really that's like the worst, quality. I feel like if it was, you guys wouldn't have been like living together and touring so much.
I mean, she's definitely like more of a morning person and I'm a night person. So we're on pretty different schedules when we're home, but we like don't screw it up for each other much. Rarely am I like being loud at night and then she's like, shut up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Have you heard the evolutionary theory of why some people are morning people and why some people are night people?
No.
So apparently when like we were living in hunt and gather or whatever, people's like body clock, if you were staying up at night, you were like the warrior who was like watching and being alert, and if you're in the morning, you were more of a gatherer and were collecting like doing all the morning stuff. Don't hold me to this, but this is just what I've been told. And that like over time it's just stayed with us through evolution, and that's why some people are more night owls and some people are more morning, is like you would stay on watch.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's totally...
It doesn't really add up for me though.
It does?
No, because it's not like I was always a morning person. Like I used to be a night person, and then I just decided that I wanted to have certain habits, and the only way that I could really do those things is if I became a morning person, so I trained myself to be.
Well, then you were initially a watcher and you just tried hard.
I don't know. I feel like...
Or maybe it's like you're one of the elders now, like not that you're old, but you're the same age as me, so it's okay. So I can't offend because then I only offend myself. But it's like maybe now we're like more wise, and so people come to us for the wise elder.
I mean, that's definitely true. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't
I think
have
I
to
could be either.
disprove the theory.
I'm not going to disprove the theory. I'm just not sure I agree
Don't.
with
That's
it.
like my only theory. It's like,
Just go with the damn theory.
You guys have been together for 10 years now, and like, does it feel like it's been that long?
We met 10 years ago, I guess. So
Yeah, we
we've
met
been
10
a band
years ago.
for like 9-ish, 8.5, 9-ish.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it does feel like it, because it's a big enough number now that I'm like, it matches how significant of a role you play in my life. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't really imagine my life without you. And
That's lovely. Oh. That's so nice.
I don't even mean it in a nice way.
No.
I mean, it's nice, but I mean like,
In a nice way.
I can't even
get rid of
remember.
you.
I can't even remember what my life was like without him. You know?
Aww. No, I'm kidding.
She just has a bad memory.
But so 10 years, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, we've already had so many lifetimes and evolutions even within the context of knowing each other and the band.
Yeah.
So it adds up to me.
Because like starting out, I was thinking about it like 10 years, you don't really get to know someone, whether it be like a platonic relationship or a romantic whatever. It takes a while like to get to know somebody fully, Did it take a while before when creating music to be able to be really fully like open and vulnerable with each other, like, and compared to now?
I think for us, it actually took us longer to figure out the personal like flow and like relationship of friendship, because we started making music and we weren't really friends. Like, we didn't know each other that well. We were just kind of connecting on a music level. And we were always pretty brutally honest with each other. I think I was a basketball player in college and before we met, and I feel like I like grew up having like grown men just like scream in my face. It's like that's what it is when you're in sports like that, and you are used to like very honest, very harsh criticism, and you just have to like get used to that from a really young age. And I think maybe it was a little startling for you at first about how honest I was, but I think she was also very honest back because she also is like German. So like we wouldn't take offense. We kind of just like, we're like, okay, cool.
That's interesting.
And I think it was really good for our working relationship and definitely for our personal relationship, but that came later.
Do you agree that was like, do you feel the same way, like with the honesty and stuff at the start? Was that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like in making something, we'd just be like, yeah, that's not good. Let's try something else. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, like we were never like, I never took it as that she thinks I'm like shitty at making music or that like I had bad ideas or something. It was just like, okay, that one's not good.
Yeah, totally.
We always like respected each other enough, I think. Or we knew that because we were like choosing each other to sort of chase this joint goal.
Which is insane, having like, it's sort of like the serendipitous way that you met, and then to choose each other. Like, it is such a choice with such intention, you know? Like, it's pretty incredible. And then for it to have led as far as it has. Would you call each other best friends? Because we'll talk now and like about your album, but you've got a song on the album, Hey Homie, and that is based around, but the song didn't start out as being about best friends, and now it is. So you consider that best friends out of your whole, you know, world?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of best friends. Not a lot, but a handful.
Yeah, I don't fill all the boxes for Sophie as a best friend.
Yeah.
I think I feel most of them.
Yeah.
But like if she knows if she needs certain type of like emotional support, then maybe I'm not the guy she goes to.
Yeah.
She's got plenty of friends who maybe are better at that than me.
Totally.
But like, yeah, overall for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
probably the right way to explain.
And vice versa, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear about all my shit all the time.
Yeah, and your album Bread has just come out, and how are you finding like the reaction to it from the crowds and stuff? Because I saw that New York and LA shows, like people dressing up as bread and coming. Like, is it so much fun to be able to now like show this project to the world?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Like, we've gotten messages from so many friends and people who just like didn't need to message us, you know, like we haven't necessarily heard from them in a while, or they make music, and like it always feels really good when other musicians and creative people like will say something about, you know, how excited or impressed or whatever it is. And it's been cool. I don't think we've ever felt like this much of that in our careers before. It feels really, really good. And we also feel, I think, the most proud of this music.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
As we've ever felt. So that feels really good too.
Yeah, totally. Can you tell me about some of the like varying themes on the album?
Yeah, well, you asked about Hey Homie, and that one is
Dirty
really...
Laundry. You can talk about Hey Homie.
Yeah, we can talk about Hey Homie. So that one is really special to us because it's about a type of relationship that I feel like there's not that many songs about. It's basically just the type of relationship where there's something really special between you and somebody. And at the time we were both having these experiences in our life where we felt super connected to somebody, but we were like, oh, for different reasons, you know, the person just like was not appropriate to have a relationship with. And so that's really what the song's about. It's not about our friendship, but like celebrating that type of love as really special, even if it's not, you know,
Yeah,
to
it's
the
like
pond.
those relationships where like maybe in another life you'd be with that person, but like maybe they have a partner or they live somewhere else, or like circumstances just don't work.
The time isn't right. It's
But
like if it was 2 years from now.
But
You
the
can
irony...
still like appreciate the meaning of the relationship and the intensity and like the beauty of it. But the irony,
the irony
the dirty
is that
laundry
the
part.
person that I was writing the song about, I thought I would never get to be with, and I just thought it was not right because like he was younger than me, and then I ended up just being wrong, and now I'm with him.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness, how long have you been together for?
I don't think you've ever told anyone that
Yeah, wow.
in an interview.
Yeah,
we got some dirty laundry.
Yes, we
It's not
do.
even that dirty, it's just sweet.
It is sweet.
It's so sweet. We've
got
been
some
together
boring
for 8 months.
Oh, cool. That's so exciting. Can I ask how much younger he is than you? Do you care?
He's 4 years younger.
Okay. You're 32?
Yeah, I thought it was significant, but it's actually not.
Yeah, no, totally. And I feel like some people the gap between, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, the gap between, say, if there was a 10-year gap and you're 22 and 32, that gap is so massive, and there's so much in life that you do in those 10 years. But when you hit like 32 and 42, the gap sort of like shrinks a little bit, and I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter whether it be a 28-year-old and a 32-year-old, because maturity also comes in a lot of different layers. So where somebody else might have their strengths, well, not that maturity is always a strength, but where their strengths might be, they may, support and shine a light on the other way. Does that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I also think it just depends on how that person decides to live their life and invest in themselves, because I've been with people who are a lot older who are not
absolutely
age appropriate in the sense that they were also really immature. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person and how like dedicated to their own evolution they are, honestly.
Absolutely. And you're really happy that, I mean, your face like lights up when you said that. It's so exciting. That's so lovely. How's your little dove love dating relationships going at the moment then?
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. Hey Homie for me was about similar, except the woman's older by like, I don't know, 8, 9 years, 8 years or something. So that, yeah. And it's still kind of TBD.
Really?
Yeah. Don't really know.
That's okay.
But also like, you know, one of the most important people in my life, just always on the line of like, should it be something or should it just stick how it is?
Yeah. But I guess that's like, I mean, some of the fun of life sometimes is not knowing, you know, as well, which I think.
Totally. Yeah, part of me is always like, I don't want to change anything because it's so great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Before we get into I was going to say before we get into deep questions, but we already are. I wanted to ask about the Sims 4 for perfect someone, because there's a Sims 4 version, correct?
I was thinking it the other day. I was like, I cannot believe I remembered this.
I was listening to it. It is your voice on it, isn't it? They haven't AI'd it or something like that.
No, we went in and did it.
How does that work though? Like, do you have to practice saying? Like, how do you learn?
Yeah, we had like a Simlish expert in the room with us. Yeah, and then
it
we
was
were
like
just
the person who created the language.
Was it?
Yeah.
What, they like have a Simlish, that's a job, that's someone's job.
I mean,
like Simlish expert.
Yeah, because we were in LA and they sent 2 people from there, and one of them was supposedly the Simlish person.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Was it fun?
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was silly.
Yeah.
We were like, you sure?
It's hard to keep a straight face when you're like, yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, lubavou.
It's cool though.
But they only taught you that on the day that you went in, or did you have to like rehearse that?
They sent us like a voice memo, right?
No, it was like the
Just
phonetics.
the words.
Yeah,
no, they didn't even send it to us.
I feel like we could have done more homework if we wanted to, but we didn't. We just walked in and we were like, yeah, goodbye. I don't know.
That is so fun. Oh my God. That's like a goal, I feel like. Like, you know, like 10-year-old me who sat in my room. Like, you remember playing, did you ever play Sims when you were younger?
A little bit.
Yeah, I played it hard, where it was like, you know, dark outside and you're like, oh, she's been like 10 hours. I've been sitting on this thing and I've killed like 3 of the parents, you know, and like, like in the pool or whatever. It's like you get really dark playing Sims. So there's a lot of Portuguese on the album, and you like spend a lot of time in Brazil yourself. What does the language really mean to you, and like why is it so important for you to include like a lot of like Brazilian influence?
Mostly just because I love Portuguese so much.
Yeah.
But I used to live in Brazil, and we collaborate with this amazing Brazilian poet whose name is Chacal, and we collaborated with him a lot on this album, and we actually spent like almost 3 months in Brazil making this album. So yeah, there's a lot of Portuguese, but also just like a lot of Brazilian references and styles and stuff in the album too.
Had you spent much time in Brazil prior, like to 10 years ago? Had you ever been?
Never, no. I hadn't like left the country almost.
Yeah.
I was like really, I'm from Boston and I was like a US guy. And I wasn't that worldly at all. And I only went to Brazil since Sofi Tukker, and it's definitely become a really big part of me as well. And on this album, it was interesting because I fell in love with a genre called baile funk, which is like a Brazilian genre that Sofi wasn't really into. And then, so I started bringing a lot of those elements in because we were at Carnival the last 2 years. And 2 years ago at Carnival, we ended up at like 7 a.m. at this amazing baile funk DJ set. And I was just like obsessed. Yeah. And ever since I started listening to that. So ironically, a lot of the Brazilian sounding stuff on this album came from my side, which is like not usual in any of the past works of ours. So that was cool. I've definitely like fallen in love. We're also surrounded by Brazilians all the time. Yeah. We're like, a bunch of our dancers are Brazilian, our content person's Brazilian, a bunch of our best friends are Brazilian.
So cool.
It's just like kind of happened.
So cool that world like completely opened up to you in that
Yeah.
way. That's like amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sophie went and found it, but I just kind of got lucky.
Totally. No, because that's what I was going to ask. Like, what are you just as passionate? You know, like, is the passion very much equal in that way?
I think it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
Sophie's passion is definitely deeper and longer and more, I don't know, focused on it. Her whole life's been more focused on it, I would say. But I've been lucky enough to get kind of adopted by the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like in different ways have found really cool connections with the country and the culture.
Yeah, totally. It's very special. And there's like 5 languages on this album though as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there's
In one
maybe
song,
even more.
there's like
In
5
Wolf,
languages.
In Wolf,
is
there's
it?
5
yeah,
languages.
Yeah, which is crazy, so cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I know, I was listening to that song because I just was expecting Portuguese to come up, and then I was like, hang on, I like heard French, and then I was like, oh, that's very like.
Yeah, it's very basic French. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the
Was that in like? Did you want to include more languages, or did that just happen like naturally?
That just happened naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that verse, I
Always
wanted
been trying to get
German.
German in.
Yeah, I speak German and I was born in Germany, so we were like, we should write some music in German. But
Totally.
it never sounds as good as Portuguese.
It's like
Yeah.
the opposite of Portuguese.
Yeah, it's quite a like hard language.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like in many ways, like that song is just about how like you don't really need language to, you know, connect. And so it's just kind of a mixture of a lot of random phrases in different languages.
And then throw some ass. Like I was going to ask you because that song's very much about your journey with. You were in a wheelchair, right? So
Yeah, I was.
Would you be able to tell me like a bit about like the healing and how Throw Some Ass kind of came to be for that way?
Yeah, actually, Throw Some Ass is not about my time in the wheelchair,
Oh,
but
okay.
you've
Sorry.
really done your research.
Yeah.
She knows. No, so I was in a wheelchair actually because I broke my big toes from stress fractures from running so much.
Yeah.
Which is full circle because this morning we were talking about this. Like I went on a run this morning for the first time. Not for the first time, but I'm starting to run again for the first time in 10 years.
Okay.
So that's really
So
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had back pain like 2 years ago for like a year and a half, like
Well,
just
herniated
chronic
disc.
back pain. Yeah, I herniated, but it's a little more complicated than that because now I'm realizing like it's probably not from my herniated disc. It's actually like from hypermobility, blah, 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 blah. I've like went to so many doctors and physiotherapists and all these things and nothing was really helping. And I tried, well, we were doing this choreography rehearsal with our dancers who are here somewhere in the laundromat. And they were teaching me how to throw my ass for Coachella. And as we were doing the choreography, I was like, oh my God, my back is feeling better.
Really?
Yeah, and
that
so-
quickly.
Well, I mean, it's a little more complicated than this. I oversimplified it for the sake of the song. But for the sake of the song, I was like, you know, I threw my ass and then my back pain went away.
Yeah,
Which is not entirely true. But,
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
It was a fun.
it's not correlated.
Yeah,
like the idea of being like happy and free and safe in your body is definitely correlated with not having as much pain. Because like I think when I like anticipate the pain and like get freaked out about it,
Totally.
like I actually produce more pain.
And you hold on to that tension in your body and the stress as well. Like that lives in your body in other ways as well. So
Exactly.
That's so cool. And then yourself, you had like a similar experience. I mean, I suppose with basketball, I suppose the wheelchair came before. So I've got my like storyline mixed around. But you with basketball then turning to music, correct?
Yeah.
Like, can you tell me a little bit about that as well?
Yeah. And my basketball was like my whole life, really. I was planning on being a professional and working out with some pro guys and stuff my junior year of college. And I ended up getting mono, which is, I don't know what you call it here. Yeah, I forget what you call it here.
I've heard of, what is it? Oh, glandular fever.
Glandular fever,
Yeah.
but it didn't go away. So for like 7 months, I was really sick and I was in bed. And they didn't really know what was wrong with me at the time. I had like an autoimmune thing that I couldn't make the disease dormant. But in that time, I wanted to like be productive somehow, but I didn't really have energy to get out of bed. And I left school for a year. So I started watching YouTube tutorials and just like learned how to make music and just like fell in love with it and was doing that from like the time I woke up till I went to bed. And then that's how I fell in love with it. And then I went back to school, tried to keep playing basketball. I played one more season, but it wasn't physically, I like couldn't really keep up. And then my doctor said you have to stop. So I had 1 more year left of school. And then I was like, how do I make music into something I could do after college? And I just started DJing like every party I could.
Amazing.
And I just like became the go-to DJ around town.
That's so cool.
And then ended up meeting Sofi later that year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Are you from either of you from a musical background? Like your family's very musical?
No.
Yeah, so that's so crazy. Like you found like this passion that just landed in front of you, which is amazing. It's like very, I don't know. It's like, you know, a lot of people grow up. Did you have musical households? Like, did your parents listen to a lot of music?
Yeah. Not like necessarily more than most.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But definitely, like we had fun. I remember car rides when I was a kid.
Totally.
You know, stuff like that.
Ours is just full of like the Wiggles. Did you listen to the Wiggles when you were kids?
We didn't have
that?
the wiggle.
You don't know the Wiggles?
The biggest Australian thing ever.
Yeah, it's like when you explain it like this, it sounds weird, but it's like 4 grown men who perform to children. But it's beautiful, and they have like, there's like, you'll have to Google it afterwards, but they
The Wiggles.
Yeah, they're
huge here.
They're huge. Like I looked at the ARIA charts the other day, and 4 of their albums are still in the top 20 on our ARIA charts, and it's from the 90s.
It's like Rafi.
Yeah.
With Rafi.
You don't know Rafi? No. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. Banana phone. Doop, 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 doop.
No, this is like big.
Oh.
They like will play at their biggest festivals and stuff.
Wow.
No, yeah, they're
to children.
This is like real.
Yeah, but to children, yeah, but now
But
that
adults
they do,
love
well,
it.
now they do a reunion tour for adults. So
Yeah.
now they go to pubs and everybody's like, they've got a song that's like toot toot chugga chugga big red car, and everyone in the crowd's like toot toot chugga chugga, or like fruit salad yummy yummy, or like a lot.
Wait, I love this.
Yeah,
already.
yeah. And there's like, they each have a colour. So there's like a red one, a blue one.
Like the Teletubbies.
Like the Teletubbies, but they wear their colours and they play all their music live. And then there's like the purple guy who's Jeff, and he always falls asleep. And so then the kids are in the crowd like, wake up, Jeff. And he like wakes up. And there's a dinosaur who now DJs, who's like Dorothy the dinosaur. And she is now like a DJ at festivals and stuff. And she's DJ Dorothy. It's very cool. I just wanted to ask you, wrapping up, about your Spiral video with Heidi Klum in it. Me personally, I've been a massive fan of her. I think I just love how authentically herself she is, and I think that for women and showing that aging doesn't make you anything less than like you could still be sexual and all of that. But I would love to know, like, what was it like working with her? Because in that music video, you're so close, like, with her and doing a lot of, you know, just having fun. Did you meet her prior to that, or was it all just on the day?
Yeah, we had met her before. We met her at Fashion Week, and
Long time
it
ago.
turns out that, like years ago, and it turns out that she had already come to some of our shows before, and we have some mutual friends, and basically, like, she started posting videos of her dancing to our music, and we were just like, oh my God, Heidi, we have to do a music video
Well, first of all,
together.
oh my fucking God, Heidi Klum's dancing to
Yeah,
music.
seriously,
Yeah.
like, what an honor. She's such an icon. And then we were like, would you do a music video, you know, to our music where you're dancing, but like properly? And she was like, well, only if you're in it too. And we were like, okay. And so, yeah, I mean, it was just, the director kept being like, stop having so much fun off camera. Like, it was exactly what it looks like. It was just so fun. And she's so fun, and she's so warm and just encouraging. And she's one of those people that, like, you know, instead of it being like really intimidating to be in a music video with Heidi Klum, she made me shine brighter by just being next to her.
That's lovely.
Yeah, because she is so herself, and she's also lifting up everyone around her. You know, she's really encouraging everybody to be
That's amazing.
themselves too.
Yeah.
For someone who like could be a diva, and she's just the opposite. She's just so nice. Like the day went way longer than it was supposed to. She didn't say anything. She never complained. Like, she just was the best attitude ever.
So cool.
Yeah, such a good role model, honestly.
Honestly.
Because like, if anyone's ever being a diva, I'm always gonna be like, well, if Heidi wasn't, you should shut the fuck up.
Right? Yeah, honestly, if Heidi Klum's working overtime and not complaining, what are you complaining about?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's so cool. I know, I would love to. I think I've looked up to her for such a long time, and I think that, like, the example she sets and the roles she sets for women is just, like, amazing. So when I saw that come out, I just was fangirling hard myself.
I mean, I feel the same way.
It was fun.
yeah, to get to call her a friend now, I'm just like, she's the best.
So psycho. Yeah. Do you like, have you spoke, do you get like speak after that? Afterwards?
Yeah,
that's
all the
so
time.
Yeah, no, we're like real friends.
Oh, really? That is so, I know. That is so cool. That is so special.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of Australia.